Hello everybody, this is Kevin and welcome to a short rebuild video on my Estes Spirit. If you guys don't remember how we ended up in this predicament, let me refresh your memory.
3, 2, 1. Good separation. Okay, wow, that booster landed close to me. Chute is not opening. Oh boy, I hope it lands in a bush. Okay, it landed with quite a clunk. Okay, let's go see where it is, and hopefully everything survived. With that booster, we hit 1,131 feet. That is a phenomenal flight. Okay, the nose cone looks like the insert popped out, broke off. There's the rocket. Yeah, buckled the tube. Man, why did that chute get hung up? I have no explanation for that. Okay, hopefully we'll get some good data off the camera and the altimeter.
Okay, so all was not lost when that happened. This rebuild is actually going to be pretty simple, and let me walk you through the steps. First thing I did was when I got back, I cut the tube in half. This is obviously the crunched up front end, and this needs to be replaced. So what I did was I went as far back as I could beyond all the damage which occurred right up to this point. And this is where I cut the tube, and I made a nice clean cut using my Estes cutting guide. And then I started looking for BT55 size tubing. Well, Estes was out of stock for the longest time and I got tired of waiting, so I just went ahead and broke down and bought a new Spirit rocket. Now I had a choice to make. Do I want to build a brand new Spirit from the kit, or do I still want to attempt to rebuild the old one? So what I elected to do was take the new tube and I'm going to cut it to match the size that we need. So I'm going to cut this portion off, glue it on with a coupler, and I've still got the brand new fin can, fins, nose cone, everything in the new kit that once I get a new set of tubing, I can just build a scratch build kit with those parts. But I want to keep this flying. So to do so, I've decided to use the new body tube, cut it up, and attach it to the existing. Now the process for that is very, very simple. Let me clear out some of the stuff that we're not going to need. Let me go ahead and disconnect the nose cone, and I want to show you what I did on the nose cone as well. As you saw in the video of the crash, the insert came unglued from the nose cone. So what I did this time was I glued it back in, secured it with plastic cement, but I drilled into the side. You can barely see the little dots there. I drilled through the nose cone into the insert, plugged it with a toothpick, and then glued the toothpicks in, so that will prevent, hopefully, this from ever coming out again. So that's been repaired. Now I've disconnected. I want to feed the shock cord out the bottom of the rocket so I get it out of the way of the rebuild. So let me just feed this through. Try to get my weight down the center. One of those things that's in theory a lot easier to do than in actuality, but there we go. Okay, so there, that's through and out. Now we've got a clear tube out of the way. We can go ahead and do our work. So first thing we want to do is measure where I need to cut the new tubing. And you can use tape measure, you can do all these fancy things. But if you've got the tools in front of you, you can just measure right off the existing tube and see where we need to add to it. So I'm just going to line the tubes up at the rear, right there, and I'm just going to draw a line where we need to cut. It's really that simple. So now I'll take, because this is pre-painted, it's a little thicker than standard tubing, so it's actually really tight, so I don't even need to worry about using the other half of the adapter to pinch it on. It's going to hold its own. But I will, just as a safety measure, add a little bit of tape. Okay, there's our mark right there. Let me add a little bit of tape. On the guide and on the tube, just to keep it from sliding forward or backward. That'll keep it in position. Then you simply take your X-Acto knife and just follow the guide and cut it out. Make one nice clean cut. I find the best results in somewhat of a sawing motion, and as long as you follow the guide, you don't get, you know, jaggedy edges or anything like that. So, and we'll probably have to fill this gap once I glue the two body tubes together. There may be a slight gap which we can fill in and maybe either cover up with the decal or monocoat. Or if we can find matching paint, you know, there's plenty of options on how to clean that up. But I've rebuilt enough of these now that it's not as daunting as a task as it used to be. When I first thought about doing these rebuilds like this, I'm like, I don't know, but I've done enough of them now where it's pretty straightforward. So there we go. This, we'll just set it aside, maybe save it for a future project. But now we've got a tube that'll match right up. You can make your own coupler out of either cardboard or an existing tube, or Estes sells little cardboard couplers made for this size, so I went ahead and elected to go that route. But yeah, you just slip half of it in there. The other half, well, let's see. Oh, this one, a little jaggedy from my cutting, so let me try to open that up. There we go. Just run your fingernail along the inside rim there and it'll clear up that little burr. And there you go. So that's what it's going to look like once we get it glued. Simple as that. So I want to mark on the coupler the halfway point. This is a 1 1/4 inch tubing. So what's half of 1 1/4 is 5/8. So I'm just gonna make a little mark there at the 5/8. Take some wood glue. Okay. Gonna work that around. Okay. Then you just take your tube, work it in, and as you push it in, make sure you twist. That will help spread the glue. Almost there. It's setting up a lot quicker than I really expected it to. That was incredibly difficult. Let me wipe up some of the excess. Well, there we go. Right up to the line there. Okay. I'm actually surprised at how difficult that was to slide in. It shouldn't have seized up so quickly, but we were able to get it in all the way, just in the nick of time. Now there's a smooth end and a kind of a chewed up end from where we made our cuts. We're going to put the dirty end in and we'll leave the clean end up front for the nose cone, like so. So this is the end that's going to go in like that. Okay, same process. We're going to apply the glue on the inside of the tube. Like so. And I'm also going to dab a little bit on the end where the two ends are going to butt up against one another. Okay. Twist and go. Just like so, and then wipe off any excess. There we go. It really is that simple to repair a body tube. So now we're just going to let this sit and dry. And there we have it. The rocket is done. The Spirit will fly again. What I did was, and I've never been really good at painting and that aspect of things, and I was able, believe it or not, to salvage the original decals off the main tube. This is the original Spirit and the front. I was able to peel these off very gently off the original tube and lay them down. I did have to put a little bit of glue because this decal got a little dinged up in the crash, so it didn't lay down very flat, but I just put a little bit of thin CA glue up in there and it's holding it down. I did punch 3 new holes for the altimeter vents so we can get airflow into the inside the tube. And the Spirit decal was lifting on the corners, so I took some packing tape and just laid a piece over there. And unfortunately, it's a little hazy on one side. Again, it's not perfect, but really, I wasn't so much worried about the cosmetics of this rocket, but the mechanics of it. So I'm just thrilled to see it complete, back in flying condition. So my next launch day video, you will see the Spirit take flight once again. So thanks for watching. God bless each and every one of you, and hope to see you on the next video.